done riding the United Motors Renegade Commando. Now, I have been getting requests since many months to ride this machine from you all, my YouTube friends. And well, I was thinking about doing it, but again, I could not. But yesterday, I got a call from Vamshi from United Motors, and he said, "Why don't you ride this motorcycle?" And I was, yes, as always, very excited. So this morning, I took this machine out on a ride onto the highway. Of course, it was not a very long ride, but it was good enough to understand how this machine performs. Now, the first thing that would attract anyone about this motorcycle, and I personally feel that it is the unique selling proposition, that is, yes, it looks like a Commando indeed. You know, the color, check this out, this is a proper military color. Now, this is a typical cruiser in terms of the way it feels when you sit on this motorcycle, low slung, very comfortable when you sit on this motorcycle. You know, it's got forward foot pegs, which would be really nice when you're cruising. And the handlebar is something which I like, which I already mentioned when I was riding. It is not too wide nor too high. You know, sometimes cruisers have very wide handlebars, very high handlebars, which look cool but are not really comfortable. But this one is indeed very comfortable, because when I was riding, I felt like, man, this is too short a ride. I should just go on a 500-kilometer ride on this motorcycle. And another thing, that is the seat. The seat on this motorcycle is nice and wide, comfortable, and also for the pillion. And yes, this one has a backrest. Now about the technical specifications, something which all of us want to know. The first thing in a motorcycle, that is, now this is a single cylinder, and this is almost 280 cc, makes about 25 horsepower and makes about 22 Newton meters of torque. Now the weight, it's a cruiser, so don't really have to worry about the weight much, but again, the weight is about 172 kilograms with about 90% fuel. So that's pretty good. That's not very heavy. Now, the most important thing, fuel efficiency. So this motorcycle, the company claims about 35 kilometers a liter, but realistically, I would think about 28 to 30 kilometers a liter, which is good enough. But on a highway, if you're cruising in the 6th gear at about 100 kilometers an hour, I'm sure you'll cross the 32 or 33 kilometers a liter mark. And the fuel tank capacity is 18 liters. So 18 liters at about 30 kilometers a liter on the highway is, you can go a really long way. Now, another thing which I really like, is how the radiator has been integrated with the motorcycle frame. It doesn't look something which is kind of odd thing out, or, you know, really beautiful curves, very well integrated, and yes, it is a liquid cooled thing. So, you know, even in bad traffic situations, this motorcycle's engine would be within the operational temperatures. About the tires now, well, first of all, the tires look pretty nice, just like an adventure military motorcycle. check the grooves out. You know, these are not general standard road grooves. These can be ridden on, muddy, dirty surfaces. And the rear tire is 140 size by 90 size, and these are 15-inch rims, and the front is 110 by 90 and 16-inch rim. The front is bigger than the rear. Now, check this out, friends. This is something very interesting and useful on this motorcycle. That is a USB port integrated on the motorcycle. So all that you have to do is just buy a cell phone holder and put it onto the handlebar of the motorcycle. So you are sorted after you do that. And this USB port also has a dust cap and a water resistant cap. So now we all know we can't really live without our cell phones or other stuff that we have to charge on the go. So instead of spending money and buying third-party chargers, well, this is a really, really good point. And the tires, these are TVS tires. Now again, don't really have to crib about too much. You know, you're not going to ride this motorcycle at 200 kilometers an hour, so you don't really need some great soft compound tires. These tires, they look and feel pretty good for what I have felt so far. And the brakes now, front is a disc rotor and the rear is a drum. General typical cruiser kinds, which I felt is pretty good. Even the rear being a drum brake system, it performed pretty fine. But again, most of the braking is done on the front side of the motorcycle. So with the stock brake pads, the brakes are fine. They're not exceptional, but they are fine, absolutely manageable. And in case you can find aftermarket brake pads with HH grading which fit onto this caliper, then I'm sure the braking capability of this motorcycle would become really, really good. Now, the main question. Should you buy this motorcycle, and would I buy this motorcycle? In case I'm looking for a cruiser which absolutely stands out from the regular cruisers and gives a very nice, unique military look and something which sounds absolutely beautiful. I truly love the pops that you're getting from the exhaust when you are, letting the throttle go. Generally, you get that kind of pops from aftermarket exhaust. Now, if I would buy this motorcycle, I would definitely do some modification to the muffler or just put an aftermarket exhaust, because this motorcycle would really, really sound good.
However, I personally feel that in case the on-road price point of this motorcycle, if it would have been about 20 or 25,000 rupees lesser, then this motorcycle would have been extremely competitive. But again, friends, motorbiking is not only about calculating value for money and pricing. It is about the passion towards your machine. So in that case, if I was looking to buy a cruiser motorcycle which absolutely stands out and is very unique, and if I did not mind spending that extra 20,000 rupees, in that case, I personally would absolutely buy this motorcycle. However, I just wish that the price point was about 20,000 rupees less.
But again, remember, I haven't really spent time with any of the existing owners, nor have I, spent few weeks or days with this motorcycle to know in case there are any ongoing problems or any maintenance issues or issues with the service center. This is something which you would have to research and take a call. But as a product, I have love the motorcycle for the price point. Now, in case you wish to test ride this motorcycle or want to buy it, then in the description you would find the information about the dealership in Hyderabad, in Himayatnagar they are located. It is Hyderabad Deccan United Motors. So you can also Google the information or check it out in the description. Thank you for watching, friends, and if you are not subscribed to me, you are missing out on close to 500 videos. Thanks, and the man behind the camera is my friend Prashant, and we've had Vamshi here from the dealership today. Thanks, Vamshi.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.